Students, previous class we have seen the microsporogenesis and also the pollen grains, and we also seen pollen grains is of four shapes: globose, ellipsoid, fusiform or lobe, and it varies from 10 microns to 200 microns depending upon the family, and different families will have different shapes. And it has got two layers, the outer exine and inner entine. The exine is not regular. In some places it is getting thinner. It is thinner. That place is known as germ pore, and some places it is not having the thinner part. It is somewhat irregular in shape. The exine is of irregular in shape, and that's all about the pollen grain structure. This pollen grain has got two cells. The bigger one is the vegetative cell, and the smaller one is the generative cell. This vegetative cell helps in the tube formation. Tube formation is nothing but it involves while transferring into the ovary. See, this is the shape of the ovary. This is the shape of the ovary. It has got a style and stigma. Here the pollen grains comes and sit in this place, and here it forms a tube like structure. This tube travels inner towards the ovary, and here is the ovary. We have seen the structure of the ovary. This is the chalaza end and this is the micropyle end, and I told you micropyle end has got a gap, a small gap. That gap will be present throughout. When it is formed, the seed also it is present. Now here this pollen grain through the pollen tube enters into the ovary, and this generative cell produces two male gametes. One fuses with the egg and one with the polar nuclei. That we will see in the from the megasporogenesis. So let's move to megasporogenesis. What is megasporogenesis? As we see, microsporogenesis is nothing but the anther formation or the pollen grain formation. Likewise, megasporogenesis is the female gametophyte. The formation of female gametophyte is known as megasporogenesis. Megaspore is nothing but the female gametophyte. Genesis is the formation or the development of the female gametophyte. What happens? This megaspore is the only from the megaspore we are going to study what are the things that is going to happen inside the megaspore, the female gametophyte. So the development starts with the megaspore. The development starts with the megaspore. Megaspore is the female part. Female part is nothing but the what we have seen, and androecium is the male part. Likewise, the female part is the gynoecium. The female part is nothing but the gynoecium. We have seen the structure also. It has got the ovary, the style and the stigma. This is the female part. The ovary part is a bulged part. The style is a slender, or slender means it is very thin, and then the stigma. Stigma is the platform for pollen grains. Stigma is the platform. Platform means here it is the place where the pollen grains comes and sit. The ovary consists of ovules. Ovary consists of ovules. This thing you should know. Now the megaspore, where it is formed from. This megaspore is derived from the archisporial cell. The megaspore is formed from the archisporial cell. This archisporial cell is hypodermal in origin. In origin it is hypodermal. Its origin is hypodermal. Hypodermal means it is formed from the ovary wall. It is formed from the ovary wall. This thing you should know. Take the note while I am telling. You can also write in your rough notes. The megaspore is derived from the archisporial cell. This archisporial cell is originated from the hypodermal cell. Hypodermal means it is formed from the ovary wall. From the ovary wall, this megaspore is formed. Now we will go to the division. What are the things going to happen in the division? This primary archisporial cell, primary means the first formed archisporial cell, divide periclinally and it forms two cells. The one is the outer cell and the other one is the inner cell. The outer cell is nothing but the parietal cell, so we'll call the outer cell as the parietal cell. So the outer cell is nothing but the primary parietal cell. The inner cell is nothing but the primary sporogenous cell. Okay, now we'll see that what happens to this primary parietal cell. This primary parietal cell may or may not divide. It depends, it's totally is dependent in its nature. It may or may not divide, whereas this primary sporogenous cell will not divide. It will not divide, and finally it will produce megaspore mother cell. We'll call that as MMC in short form. It is nothing but the megaspore mother cell. It is nothing but the MMC is nothing but the megaspore mother cell, and it is of diploid in nature. This megaspore mother cell is diploid in nature. I repeat one more time, listen carefully children. Megasporogenesis is nothing but the megaspore formation or the megaspore development, the formation of megaspore. How it happens? The megaspore starts from the development of the megaspore starts where? It is derived from the archisporial cell. It is derived from the archisporial cell. The archisporial cells are derived from the hypodermal cell. This hypodermal cell is got from the ovary wall. From the ovary wall, the hypodermal cells are formed. The archisporial cells are formed. What happens to this? It undergoes division periclinally. Periclinally means direct or slightwards. Directly, it undergoes periclinal division and forms the outer one, the outer cell and the inner cell. The outer cell forms the primary parietal cell and the inner cell forms the primary sporogenesis. This primary parietal cell may or may not divide. It is totally dependent on its nature, whereas the primary sporogenesis will not undergo division, and it further forms the MMC. MMC means megaspore mother cell. Now the megaspore mother cell is formed and it is of 2n in nature. Now we will see what happens to this megaspore mother cell. In archisporial, in andrecium, in microsporogenesis, the mother cell divides and forms 4 haploid nucleus meiotically. The same thing is also going to happen. How it is going to divide? The diploid nature megaspore mother cell. This is the megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell is diploid in nature, 2n. It has got 2 nucleus. So now it undergoes meiotic division and produce 4 haploid cells or the 4 tetrads. Of the 4, 3 will degenerate. Of the 4, 3 will degenerate and only one will stay. What happens? Of the 4, 3 will degenerate. What happens here? Sometimes the upper 3 will degenerate and sometimes the lower 3 will degenerate. And some places see here, the upper 3 might degenerate or the lower 3 might degenerate. We'll take the upper 3 here. The upper 3 has degenerated and it gives nourishment to this functional megaspore. They are in the form of linear tetrad. It is arranged in the form of linear tetrad. It gets degenerated and forms the functional megaspore and supplies nourishment to the megaspore. This megaspore is called as the functional megaspore. This functional megaspore here, after the meiotic division, undergoes first mitotic division. The one cell is divided into 2 cells. This 2 cell again undergoes second mitotic division and forms 2 cells divide and form 4. This 4 cells undergoes third mitotic division and forms 8 cells. This 8 cells, of the 8, 4 will go to one corner, 4 will go to the other corner. Up and down they are arranged. Got it? So listen carefully. Meiotic division, 2n is divided meiotically and forms 4. 2 is divided and got 4. Of the 4, only 1 will survive. The one is a functional megaspore. These 3 will degenerate. And here I am going to tell you one story. If the 3 is degenerating and only one cell is formed, it is called monosporic. If 3 is degenerating and only one cell is formed, it is called monosporic. If 2 is degenerating, and 2 cells are formed, it is bisporic, mono-bi. And if only one is degenerating, 3 cells are formed, 3 ovules are formed, it is trisporic. And if all the 4 are not degenerating and 4 cells are formed, it is called tetrasporic. So based on the number of cells degenerating, it might be monosporic, bisporic, or trisporic, or tetrasporic. I repeat, listen carefully. In our example, we have taken 3 is degenerating and only one spore it is dividing, mitotic division. And various, in some places 3 might degenerate, in some places 2 might degenerate, and some places 1 might degenerate, and some places all the 3 might not degenerate. In that places, the cells are named as, the ovules are named as monosporic, bisporic, trisporic, and tetrasporic. It depends upon the number of cells degenerating. Number of cells degenerating, it is getting the number of spores that are formed. Now, in our example, it is monosporic. Some examples, if you get 2 cells, it is bisporic. If you are getting 3 cells, it is called tetrasporic. I think you will be clear in this topic. So this cells undergoing meiotic division. How many meiotic division it is taking place? 3 meiotic division. The last cell that is formed as contains 8 cells. It has got 8 cells. The last cell that is formed contains 8 cells. Now of the 8 cells, the upper cell has got 4 and the lower cell has got 4. Of the 4, only one cell from each pole. From the upper pole, one cell. From the upper pole, one cell. From the lower pole, one cell. Fuse. They migrate towards the center and forms bipolar nuclei. See, this is the bipolar nuclei. From the each pole, one cell come towards the center and forms bipolar nuclei, and the remaining 3 in the upper pole goes to the Chalasa end. This is the Chalasa end. Of the 3 goes to the upper pole, goes to the Chalasa end and forms antipodal cells. This cell is known as antipodal cells. This is antipodal, ANTIPODAL, antipodal cells. This is in the Chalasa end, and the remaining 3 in the lower pole comes and forms this one. The bigger one is called the egg cell, and the remaining 2 are called as synergids. The bigger one is called the egg cell and the remaining 2 are called as synergids. Synergids has got finger-like projection. See, the synergids has got finger-like projection, that is known as filiform or filiform. Finger-like projections. It has got some uses also. So listen, of the 8, 1 from each pole come towards the center and forms bipolar, and the remaining 3 goes to the upper end of the upper pole, forms the antipodal cells in the Chalasa end, and this is the micropyle end. In this micropyle end, 1 is the egg and the 2 is the synergids. Synergids has got filiform appearance, that filiform appearance helps the pollen tube, it attracts the pollen tube towards the ovary. So this is the structure. This is the structure inside the ovary. I've also shown the structure of the ovary, the nucellus, the epidermal cells, all these things. The Chalasa end, this is the thing that is present in the egg apparatus. The lower thing is called the egg apparatus. Egg apparatus consists nothing but the egg and the 2 synergid cell with the filiform shapes. See, listen carefully. Egg apparatus is nothing but, write the notes clearly children, egg apparatus is nothing but the egg and the 2 synergids. That's all about the ovary. This ovary is of 7 cell with 8 nucleated. This ovary is of 7 cell and 8 nucleated. This thing you should know. Now, when the egg, I told you the structure. After the egg is formed, what happens? The pollen tube is sitting on the stigma. This is the antipodal cell. This is the polar nuclei, the egg, the synergids. It travels inside the style and it is attracted towards here and fuses with the egg. I have told you the pollen grain will produce two male gametes. One fuses with the egg and the other fuses with the polar nuclei. The one fused with the egg forms the zygote. The one fused with the egg forms the zygote, and the one fused with the polar nuclei forms the endosporic cell. Endosporic cell. The one fused with the polar nuclei forms the endosporic cell. This endosporic cell provides nourishment for the zygote. The zygote thus forms the embryo, and this embryo is covered by the coat and forms the fruit. This forms the fruit. After the fruit is formed, the petals, the sepals, whatever that is thing, all will wither off, all will fall off, because the work is done. That's all, the work is over. Now only the fruit form will be there. The fruit which contains the seed. This seed is called the egg or the zygote, the embryonic stage. This is the fruit, and the funicle which is present is always present there. The micropyle is also present there, and this is the last stage of the fertilization. This is the last stage or the mature stage. You might have seen when the flower is flowering, after few days all the petals and sepals will fall off. The final stage, the bud shape, will be formed there. You might have seen in the plants, and that is nothing but the fruit formation which contains the seed. That's it about the fertilization, children. Thank you.